We wear matching suits. We wear matching hats. And you've joined us at a time of celebration.
Correct.
And unfortunately, the bill has not come through yet, so we won't be starting until it comes through. Do you know what's the disappointing thing is? Last year we presented the same beer. This year,
We've got competing brands.
some would
Mine's just
say
famous.
some some would say these are our heritages.
This is very much this is very much fitting to where we live and
Yeah.
the nature of our
Hey,
being.
Mario, hey, how you do? Anyway,
It's my first super beer since last night. That's dangerous. Goodness.
well, I haven't had a beer all weekend.
Because you've been sick. One of the rare weekends of being in, and it's because you've been physically forced to take a back seat.
My brain works.
It's been very good. I'm very active. I joined the call today, and it was like, here we go. Whereas today, this is very, very, very different. I know we've got obviously our beers that match us, but today is very different in that usually Ant's the hungover one and I'm the not hungover one. This time, I'm the slightly hungover one. Ant's just sick, but he's got the active brain. So we've been able to swap it around today, which is very funny for
Oh,
our final episode.
it is our final episode of the year, but I also wouldn't say that you have an active brain even when you're not hungover.
That's true. My brain is not active at the best of times. You can catch me every now and then with an active brain, but it's not common.
Well, just like our grand finale, it's still a stupid, sexy brain.
You have a stupid
I'm
sexy.
not calling our grand finale a brain. It's play the fucking music. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final edition of the Glass Table for 2024, episode 70, the grand finale of the year. We are celebrating, as we did last year, in our suits, dedicating our attire to the Sydney Swans.
I was going to say, thank you, Sydney Swans, for your beautiful Australian outfits that you provided to us. It means that we can do this now. So cop that.
Yeah, guess what? We're also wearing jeans and sneakers like dads.
Oh, I'd be lucky to be wearing jeans and sneakers.
Do you like my natural tan pant? You know?
Same vibes.
Yeah, that was just a knee.
Yeah, I can't.
Some would say knee-jerk reaction.
Thank you, Titus O'Reilly.
I have a fedora, actually.
Get the glasses out in the fedora. Titus O'Reilly.
Oh, I should have got the glasses. Anyway,
that's fine.
That's fine. We won't push too much stupid sexy agenda because if I wore the glasses, the stream would probably explode.
Yep. Along with
aura.
I was about to make a joke that I just can't make, so we'll just
You probably could.
I probably
could.
Too early in the episode for that. Usually we get to about the 50-minute mark before that starts happening. So
explode in your pants. There, I said. You know what? I did it. It's fine. You know what? I know we come to do it a bit later, but there's nothing wrong with coming along a bit early.
Oh man.
Welcome to the 2024 Stupid Sexy Awards. That is a hell of an introduction that I've been able to do. Better than Jared's last year. We've got the script. But just like Sydney did, they didn't go undefeated. They didn't follow the script either. And they fell short. Not Jaden short either.
No, Jaden Short, I can absolutely assure you, we've got some awards and stuff lined up. That will be the only time Jaden Short gets mentioned. I can guarantee that. That is a glass table guarantee. Is that Jaden Short will get one mention, and that is all. It's like in the Brownlow when like the one person, like when somebody gets a vote and everyone loses their mind at the table. It's exactly what that is. Here's to you, Jaden Short.
Yeah. All aboard the short train. You'll find people on there like the wizard.
Yes, yes,
The captain of it all is Brent Harvey.
of course. Caleb Daniel,
And
solid halfback.
yeah, someone you might see on there they haven't heard for a while, Jake Mead.
Oh, how about
Mm,
that?
yep,
Short Kings.
yep, the short kings. The Wouldn't see them playing for the Kings of the basketball, would you?
Oh, you would not. Absolutely not. They couldn't touch the floor.
Or the ball. Been a lot happening this year. A
Yes.
lot happening. We're gonna do a bit of a roundup. We obviously saw the Hawks turn into dead meat, and then they ended up being Hawkball, which is a bigger resurrection than Brendan Fraser's career in acting.
Good on you, Brendan Fraser. There you go. There's another reference. First one free, man, only one. Cheers.
Ohio.
Attaboy. We love him. We love Brendan Fraser.
We do. Great. He was great in Looney Tunes back in action.
Yes, I was just about to say that is everyone like associates Brendan Fraser with different things, like the Mummy, all these different things. Mine is Looney Tunes back in action, where he's a stuntman, and then he goes and chases I believe it's the blue monkey. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's it. So, yeah, absolutely, Brendan Fraser. Well played.
Fantastic stuff. We've obviously seen a lot of things happen throughout the year. One most notably was Bailey Smith exposing himself in multiple ways, including doesn't like dogs anymore. He's a cat person.
I did see that.
He is a fan of cotton on, but doesn't wear a lot of it,
Doesn't wear a lot of
especially on his
anything.
Instagram.
Didn't wear a lot of anything. He would be the worst person to have as a clothes sponsor because he does not wear clothes. Like that's a horrible idea.
He
Now
should
that I'm
more
thinking
invest in
about
hair product.
it, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, why have like Manscaped not been like you?
Yeah, but
You need Bailey's.
Manscaped are like the sluts of the internet. Like they literally, quite literally, hone in on anyone that has any sort of a resemblance of a body.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a sponsorship, Manscaped, you know where to find us.
Hello, have you seen us in these blazers?
We can possibly take them off.
For the right amount of money.
Insert ad here. um, yes, no, that was very interesting things that happened. Obviously, Collingwood didn't make the eight, but they went
No.
ahead and instead of saying, you know, they've got problems, they said, Houston, we don't have a problem. So they're going into next year feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yes.
But it was very funny to finally see them not win a close game.
Yes, it was bizarre to see teams realize that if you play well for 4 quarters against Collingwood, you might win games. And I think teams didn't quite understand that in 2023. They were a little bit, how you going about it? And then teams decided this year, oh, wait, we can do that. And they got shown that at the very start of the year. Collingwood lost a lot of games to start the year, as did Brisbane. However, Brisbane decided we aren't going to lose games anymore. They decided they were going to win them all, and then they did, and won a lot of them, and then ended up winning the big thing. So that's what happens.
Hey,
Collingwood
cheers to
learned.
Brisbane, eh?
Cheers to Brisbane. Cheers to Brisbane on their victory. I don't think I'm mentioning Brisbane much today, so
No, I'm not, but that's their only mention there. That then, and they also conned the draft, like with every father-son selection. But we won't talk about that.
it's getting too much.
But that's okay. The other team that couldn't figure out how to win in big moments was Hawthorn. Obviously, they found out how to win games throughout the year, which everyone can. Port Adelaide can do it. But Port Adelaide can also win semi-finals against the Hawks. Yeah, we definitely saw the Ken Blaine. That was a very, very, that's an honorable mention for my stupid sexy moment of the year.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was surprised you didn't go for it. I think I have a feeling I know what yours is, but I don't
I don't
know.
think you have any feeling at all.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. That's fine. But yes, I definitely would agree in that Hawthorn did what they needed to do. Obviously, won a lot of games towards the back of the year. I remember at like halfway through the year, we had a thing, and I think I said something along the lines of, "It's not going to happen." But say like Hawthorn win like three of the next four, they have like a chance to make finals, and then it fucking happened, and I was like, yeah, all right.
I honestly think that if we watched back through any of our episodes throughout the year,
Hmm.
we'd be right a lot of the time.
I feel like we'd also be wrong a lot. I feel like we should look at our bold predictions at the start of the year. Eventually, we should do that and be like, ah, it's just.
We did, I think. We
Yeah,
actually did
I
do
was
that.
gonna say I think we went after that after the regular season we went through, and I think for the last 2 years I've said Luke Beveridge is gonna be the first coach sacked, and he's still sitting there, sitting pretty good.
Tell you what, though, Melbourne suck.
We got that right. I can guarantee we
Absolutely.
definitely got that one right. We said they were going to be bad, and they were. Obviously for some fault not of their own. They had issues in the off season. Petrarca had an absolute shit show on Queen's birthday, King's birthday. Fucking hell. Gorn was injured for parts of the year and everything of the sort. So they definitely had everything going not for them. But still right. Still us being right. Doesn't matter how we get there, as long as we got there.
Yeah. I mean, could say Track didn't really cook up a storm on King's birthday, did he? Poor bloke nearly died. I'm so sorry.
I was That poor bloke was in
Is it
hospital
too
for a
soon?
really long time. No, it's fine now. He's back training. It's all good.
No, I can't do the training. No.
It's fine. Tracker is back on the track. Back on the track.
The Telstra Petrarca.
There we go. We got there in the end. It took us a few, but we got there in the end.
The Telstra Petrarca.
Is to you, Christian Petrarca.
That's the only time you're getting mentioned.
You barely played this year.
Doesn't matter. Few other things to shout out to the most overhyped team in the competition, and I'm not talking about Carlton, the Adelaide Crows. We saw a lot of logo changes. We obviously gave our opinions on those. I would personally rank them Adelaide, St Kilda, Gold Coast. We figured out that not only can they not figure out a plan to make finals and draw that one up, they can't even draw their own fucking logo.
Whatever it was, the clip art definitely got to work out. The Microsoft Paint definitely had a go. Font was just a casual Canva job, I think, and they made their way around. At least it's fine. It made me hate their last logo more. So I appreciate that too.
You had it right fucking there, and you couldn't use it.
So bad, Gold Coast. Why would you do that?
Anyway, they're going to look really good next year because I reckon they're going to elite outfit. So I look forward to seeing them. Not the outfit themselves. I meant like the names on the paper.
The actual team, yes, not the jumpers that they'll be wearing. The jumpers they'll be wearing are terrible.
Might be the ugliest team to play a game of football.
That away jumper is awful. I saw their training jumpers. Pretty good. Training jumpers aren't that bad. They could be used for their main jumpers, but no, they're rocking some really bad things for their main jumpers.
Oh, you notice as well, like on the broadcast for the draft, it was a yellow S Gold Coast
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah. So do they change it again? Like have they changed it or are they
Why do people have alterations of things?
I don't know. They don't I don't know.
The amount of times we've alternated this fucking podcast.
And it worked well.
Correct. We had to do every second week while you're over in Vegas land.
Vegas land. That happened this year. That was a thing that happened this year. Was for the first half of the year we were in very different time zones and very opposite sides of the world.
But this is probably going to be the only clip that comes from this. But I do want to say that what has worked, what has made us work is the fact that we made it work by traveling into different areas and actually performing, regardless of what we did. Unlike you, Gold Coast, who doesn't know how to travel. Cheers to that.
Cheers to the Gold Coast Suns for forgetting that you have to also play away games in a season.
And to think next year we're going to jump on board and
always
ride them home.
I will ride Gold Coast home every fucking year, no matter what.
That is a statement and a half.
Absolutely. I hope they play so well that like this all looks silly. That like I hope they play so well that by the end of the year their jumper is an afterthought. The jumper and the logo is an afterthought because they're that good that it's just like guess they gotta. I hope that that jumper and that logo is the team that is standing on the pedestal at the end of the year, and you have to remember it and have to see that photo for all time with those god awful jumpers. And I hope they're the away team. I hope they have to wear the away jumpers on the grand final stage because I said towards the grand final this year. You have to picture in your head that person holding up the Premiership Cup. You have to be able to picture that in your mind. I cannot imagine anybody wearing either of those Gold Coast jumpers holding up the trophy at the end of the year.
Them holding up anything.
The NAB Cup, the Wizard Cup.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Bring
They
it.
want to do 24 rounds in a year. They want to do gather round. They want to take it to places, opening round, final round, middle round, all these rounds they want to do. Bring back the NAB Cup. It's a simple thing. Just, I don't see how either that or don't do it at all. It's as
Yep.
simple
And
as
like
that.
like they're like, oh, what doesn't like players aren't going to perform. That's fine. You don't have to play any of your star players. Let you play your rookies and stuff like that. That's cool. Just make it mean something, you know? Give them some sort of incentive so that even the rookies want to play it and let them, you know, like, and they're all playing because they're trying to play for spots in the team. So they will try. They're not going to not try. Let everybody play. Let all your rookies play. Make it an under 23s thing. Make it you can only play the under 23 players because everybody will play because they want a spot in the team at the end of the year or the start of the year. There you go. There you go, AFL. Fuck your opening round off and play it all in fucking New South Wales and Queensland. That's fine. That can be your marquee thing.
That's a sensational idea.
This is what happens when the minds connect. You just tee it up with the NAB Cup, Wizard Cup coming back, and I'll knock it out of the park by saying put it in Northern New South Wales and Queensland, and it solves everybody's fucking problems.
We are the problem solvers.
We're really good at this. Our last few weeks have been fucking fantastic.
I agree. I think it's been phenomenal. So I think that's a clip this
I
week.
was going to say, there's the clip. That's the one we're looking for.
Yep. Happy with that. So this all leads us into, and we'll continue to talk about moments throughout because I think as a grand finale, you always talk about things that have happened. But we're going to go straight into our stupid, sexy moment of the year. Now, a lot has happened. We've mentioned quite a few things. But what is yours? What's your moment of the year that stands out, that is above everything else?
But obviously, like you said, it's been a very, very big year. When I was doing my research for this, I said this year a couple of weeks ago, like I actually have to go back and think about what happened this year because it was like you're so far removed from it all. We've had fucking what feels like 4 years of the AFL trade period in between. We've had everything, all these things happen. So you had to go back and have a look and going through all these moments. I've got so like you had before with like sort of an honorable mention. My honorable mention is a St Kilda themed one. It isn't my actual one. My honorable mention for me is the Saints beating the Blues in the last round of the year with that Higgins snap over the shoulder because it was one of those moments in time where everybody in the AFL was like, "Oh fuck," like that's insane. And it was one of those things where everyone was like, "That's a pretty fucking fucked up thing to happen," because everyone knew the consequences around it. If Carlton won, they were secured finals. If they lost, they could have lost the kind of thing. That for that split second in time, people were like, "Oh, what happened to Carlton again?" And just imagining the Higgins thing happening, like just everything that happened around it, I was like, oh fuck. It was one of the most insane games to watch ever. So that is an honorable mention for me. But my actual mention, when I was looking back at all the moments of the year, when I was looking back at all these things that you know, I remembered obviously there's game-winning goals, there's everything of the sort. What stuck out to me, what put the biggest smile on my face of everything, the one thing that made me go, that's how good footy is. Hawthorn versus Collingwood at the MCG on a rainy, rainy Saturday. Jack Ginnivan walks his way to the goal square after kicking his second. He's had about 28 touches. Walks back to the Collingwood cheer squad with just
Yeah.
no, no. Go, the camera flies past him, and I said it at the time. Fucking elite Fox Footy camera work because you see him walking at the crowd, getting a bit into it. Camera pans, and you get every single Collingwood fan losing their mind, and it is perfect because at that point of the season, Hawthorn were tearing it apart and were well on their way charging towards finals. And that almost killed Collingwood's chances. Like that was just about it. That was probably Collingwood win that, they can play finals, but Hawthorn stopped them, and that was like the changing of the guard. That was Hawthorn being like, we're legit and you guys aren't. And it was Jack Ginnivan that did it. And nothing puts a smile on my face more than just watching that moment, watching how good that game was. The game itself wasn't even that good, but just Ginnivan doing what he does and being the person that he is, very, very funny to me. And I just loved it. And that is my moment of the year because it's just like, that's how good footy can be. People can get riled up at shit like that, and that's why I loved it. And yeah, so mine is Ginnivan absolutely tearing apart the Pies on a Saturday at the G in the wet, doing very, very well.
I love it.
Yep.
It's a great moment. That's one I actually completely forgot. But it's a moment that you sit there and I base stupid sexy moments on things that you can like. I remember where I was when
Yep.
just played a game of footy and watched that.
Yep.
Sensational.
I had an event on at the footy club that night. Was doing like my drinking my beers leading into it kind of thing at my mate's house, and I think I'd gotten there at like halftime of this game. So the first half I was watching here, second half I was watching there, and I just remember, and my mate that I was there with is a Collingwood fan, and he's just fucking seething, and I'm just like, attaboy.
Cheers to that.
Very, very funny. So it's one of those ones where I know exactly where I was, and I was in the lounge room pissing myself laughing, and I will cheers to that. Cheers to you, Jack Inman.
Fantastic. I rate it.
Yep, fantastic. What is your super sexy moment of the year?
I had a roll call of many stupid sexy moments that happened throughout the year. And I could have very well gone with a Port Adelaide one. And I mentioned before the Ken Plain was an honourable mention. Another one is Darcy Byrne-Jones kicking
That
the
was what I
winner
thought you were going to go for. That was the one I
in the
thought.
final seconds. But to me, I like a fairy tale. I like a something I can resonate with. And sexiness is not just about looks; it's about feeling.
Yep, I get that.
So the way I look back at this particular win from a club is, I think, a stepping stone for what they can achieve going forward. Richmond beating Sydney at the MCG is my stupid sexy moment of the year. Now, it not only proves and foreshadows Sydney's demise at the MCG again against the Lions, but this isn't about Sydney and their demise. Sydney had a fantastic year, and that's where their one little fault they had before they lost by 112 points to Port. Richmond winning with such a young side. It's even gotten younger now. They might as well be called the Richmond Cubs next year, not the Tigers. But that win is a moment they can look back and go, right, we did this against a grand final team. I remember sitting there on the couch, hungover as fuck, sitting there watching this game, and I'm thinking they're going to do it. I hope they do it. This is, and we love fairy tales and wins like that here at the Glass Table. We also love it in footy in general. So when they did that, it was one of their 2 wins for the year. Phenomenal. I've never been more happier for a side that's bottom. We've all been there before. Yep. So when you get wins like that, it's even more special. And I reckon if you're a Richmond fan, you're watching that back multiple times. So to Richmond beating Sydney at the MCG in round 2.
Cheers to that. Like you said with the other one, I know exactly where I was. I was obviously, that was when I was in Vegas at the time. And it was one of those games where, because the day games in Australia were not too bad, Vegas. It was like 8 p.m. So I was it was able to be handled. I wasn't getting up at 4 to watch fucking St Kilda lose to Geelong. It was like I can handle this kind of thing. And that was one of those ones I was working at the time. And I just remember and at the time, people knew Sydney were good. People knew Richmond weren't great. The best thing about that moment is the magnitude of afterwards. Every win that Sydney then had from then on, and every loss that Richmond had, it was like, fuck, that's a weird result. Because you just keep looking back. And there's always one in the first sort of 4 rounds of the year. I remember West Coast beating Collingwood a couple of years ago as well, was the same thing. There's always one in the first little part of the year that makes everyone go, that's a bit fucking odd that happened. And that's what makes that moment so special, is that Sydney went on this tear after that, up until losing to Port by 112. And Richmond lost all their games after that kind of thing, just about. So it's very, very funny to look at. And yeah, I love it.
They also bet Adelaide. They just
I
also
forgot they
bet
beat
Adelaide.
Adelaide. I was wondering
In Adelaide. in Adelaide. In
So yeah,
Adelaide.
well played, Richmond. You did well.
On, on a primetime Thursday night slot.
I forgot about that. Oh, it was so bad.
Anyway, Adelaide scare me next year, so that's all right. Don't hold that to me.
Let's just get all your shots in now before they're good.
Shots, you said, huh? No.
No, unless.
Um, Couple of wet pussies. What? It's a shot.
Yeah, I know.
Good God, your mind's disgusting. Anyway, um, just talking about how you were saying like wins that you don't expect during the year. I could name a couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Round one, 2012 at Amy Stadium, Port bet St Kilda by 4 points when the Saints were really good and Port were really bad. That was pretty good.
Round one, 2012. We
Yeah,
weren't that good. We were okay.
we finished second bottom. So considering, yeah. Another one was around 7, 2022. St Kilda were tracking pretty well. Port played one win for the year and we went to Cairns and won by a point. That was pretty good. Um,
I'm thinking 2020, I think. Yeah, about 2020, I think. Port
so I think what we're going to do
Yeah,
is the
Port
class
Adelaide
table. So
was sort of getting their way towards a top four finish, I think, and St Kilda decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to reel out Port Adelaide legend Dougal Howard to have one of the greatest games of all time and dominate the power at the Adelaide Oval and give them a loss at a nice, I believe it was a Saturday night, I think, and it was delightful. It was a delightful viewing. I think Dan Butler would have kicked three because he was a fucking superstar that year. Jack still would have had about 30 and do well. And yeah, it was the best defender of all time. So that was pretty good too, I think.
COVID year doesn't count 2020. So
Oh, yeah,
you don't really have a leg to stand on there, champ.
yeah.
Um, anyway, we're going to do the
That could rule
class
out Robbie
table now.
Grant's Kemley goal.
Which one?
The one, I think, at the empty Gabba.
I was against Carlton.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can we rule that out because it was a COVID year, so it never existed, never counted, never happened?
No, that specific weekend where you
Oh,
got
yeah,
us.
okay. Okay.
Pretty sure everyone else was in lockdown, so it doesn't really affect.
Sure, sure. Of course.
Yep. Yeah, the class table.
Yes.
This is like the equivalent of our All Australian team, except there's no order, no positions. It's just 10 players at random days sitting at the table with us at the end of the year. I've decided I'm going to go first and list my 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'm not going to explain them because I think they're self-explanatory. And by this point, at the end of November, if you have to explain the reasonings for them being very good for the year, then you just simply don't know what you're talking about.
There'd be some questions. Absolutely.
If you didn't watch the year now, don't bother. Go forward to 2025 because that's all we can look forward to. So, sitting at my class table for 2024, Zach Merritt,
Yep.
Jason Horne-Francis, Nick Dacos, Jesse Hogan,
Classic.
Patrick Cripps, Isaac Heaney, Marcus Bontempelli, Dylan Moore, Rowan Marshall, and the bloke that's paying for the whole evening because he owes everyone money, Zach Butters.
The man that has given more money to the AFL than any man in AFL history.
Yeah, him and Ken.
I like it. Very good. Very, very solid. A lot of strong contenders, a lot of midfielders, obviously. I found this year to be a very midfield heavy year. I think I said this.
As it is every year.
I know, but like especially so. I think I said this around the All Australian time, but I was like, fuck, they're just gonna find a way to put like eight midfielders in there, fill the bench with midfielders, which they got close to. which I find very, very good. But I like it a lot. The Rowan Marshall pick is inspired. Uh, and obviously some very, very good mentions there. If you're at the start of the year, and I bring this up because he's going to feature in mine in a second, which is a little spoiler. At the start of the year, do you reckon anybody would have put Dylan Moore in their top 10 players in the AFL?
No, because I think a lot of people wanted to see more of him, but
Yep.
um, I think no one expected it. I think we saw glimpses last year, but we saw as well that once Hawthorn got on a run, he was able to manipulate the contest in a way it always fell to his favour. The
Yep.
way he was able to conjure up possessions as well as impact the scoreboard makes him such a prolific player in the game. And I think a lot of people caught onto that. And I think a lot of people as well, when they see this in a winning side, people get the recognition they deserve. And Dylan Moore deserves every bit of recognition for his year, even though he couldn't hit the goals in the semi final, which hit the post. But that's okay. I'm not throwing shade here because he had a sensational season, and that's why he's in my glass table.
I like it. That's very, very good. Well played. There's 10 guys to say. We'll have a few crossovers, have a few different ones, but for the most part, very, very good. I like it a lot.
How many St Kilda players do you reckon you got? 6, 7, 8, 10? Do you have a class table for everyone and then another one just St Kilda players?
I
Something
should
you would probably do.
Now that I think about it, I should have done that. But no, I only managed to sneak in the one, unfortunately.
And let me guess, it's Moen Rachel.
Yep, Moen Rachel, the man himself. Almost
Rachel.
tried to sneak in a man. Rachel. It's like fucking Hugh Boxall. I'm gonna like that guy. He's going to my Supercoach team starting next year.
I'm getting Rowan, I'm getting Boxall, and I'm getting Todd.
Yeah, I'm getting all the shuls. Everybody's coming with me.
Jay?
Is there any other marshals or like just shuls?
I don't know.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, regardless, yes, he's in there. Which, speaking of my class table for the year, we may as well start with the man. And I at the start when I first did this, I was like, I'll try and split out the positions a little bit, and then I gave up because it's just hard. And Mike yours, I got a lot of midfielders, but that's fine. Rowan Marshall is obviously one of them. Brownlow medalist Patrick Cripps is in there. Nick Dacos is in there. My personal favorite player in the AFL, Marcus Bontempelli, is in there. One for the defenders, Mr. Harris Andrews, Premiership captain Harris Andrews is in there. Isaac Heaney could add a Brownlow. Didn't quite get there. My personal little pick that I just thought would be really, really nice. Adam Treloar is in there. Charlie Curnow, Jesse Hogan, and Dylan Moore. That's my 10.
Ali Kernow's an interesting one.
Charlie Curnow gets a lot of flack at the back end. He was fucking fantastic all year and then got injured at the back end of the year. And I think people got a lot of recency bias in that he got injured and then had a poor final series. And by a poor final series, I mean they got smacked by Brisbane in the first round, which that's it. But I think he gets a lot of flack because if he didn't get injured at the back end of the year and like he was playing through injury, if he wasn't playing through injury and wasn't injured at all, he would have won the Coleman and people would be like, yeah, he's a fucking superstar again because he's still a superstar. And for the most part of the year, even even when he wasn't playing his best, he was still a weapon. And I think anybody in the AFL would give up, any team would give up just about anybody for Charlie Curnow. I think there's a few exceptions. I think Collingwood probably wouldn't give up a Dacos. West Coast wouldn't give up a Harley Reid. But a lot of these teams would take a Charlie Curnow because of the presence that he is. And I really, really enjoy him. Obviously, pairing with Jesse Hogan, who was the Coleman medalist, Dylan Moore, like we were saying before. And then Adam Treloar is just a nice little sneaky pick because he's gone through a lot. Adam Treloar, he's gone through a lot of shit, and he's decided, you know what, I'm still going to be good. I still have a lot to give, and he's very, very good at football. And he stole a lot of votes from Bont in the Brownlow, but it was a deserved stealing of votes because he's very good. And yeah, I think Adam Treloar is fantastic. Very, very glad he's an Australian.
Appreciate the fact you gave me a reason for a question I didn't ask. It's good to know Adam Treloar's in there for a reason Charlie Curnow does.
Just thought I'd mention it. Just wanted to
No,
get out.
I appreciate it. That's Now like your turn.
Just like Adam Trelaw, man, he's good.
I really want your law. Troll. Da, 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 da. Anyway, yeah, I was gonna say, cheers
Cheers
to the
to
class tables.
sitting across from each other, but also sharing some tables.
Yeah. Who
Might be
would
really.
win? Which table would
Uh,
win? And I'm not asking on the field. I'm actually gonna detour this. It is
okay.
an awards night. I look at my table and I look at your table. Which table is winning the piss up?
Well, I'm thinking. So the players that I've got that you don't. So I've got like a chart. I've got a Kerno and an Andrews and a Trelaw. They're the ones that you don't have.
And I have Butters, Merritt, Vaughan Francis.
See, and I think in a piss up, Butters, like my guys that I've picked, probably aren't as fun on a piss up. I feel like Harris Andrews is a reserved individual. I feel like Charlie Kerno would be a bit of the same. Even Trelaw a bit of the same.
And Jason Horn Francis is drinking all of them under the table by himself. So
Yeah. So I would probably say yours. Just having Butters there, I think alone is a big swing.
I'd have a big swing at Butters. And only good things, Zach.
Only good things.
What do you do with butter?
Sherman? Oh, spread it. I was that was not I was very confused when I got there.
Janet.
Fucking hell.
It's
Oh,
really, really getting hot in this blazer, right?
so funny.
Oh boy.
Oh goodness.
Anyway, if you've watched it this far, um, let us know your class table.
Yes, let us know what you think. Your 10 doesn't have to be your 10 best, just can be your 10 favorite of the year, 10 players that you think were good.
Yeah, who are you taking out to dinner?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a whole different thing in itself. If I could pick the 10 just best on the piss, like best on the piss.
That's a question.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. We can open our next year with that. Because it'll still be off season, technically. So it's like, all right, who's been on the piss? And like by then we'll know all the stories too. By then we'll be able to be like, yeah, this person was in fucking wherever. Like and just lose
Yeah.
my mind.
Who's Callum Mills put through a table?
What Vietnamese team has Tom Liberatore played for this year? Tom Liberatore would be fucking top of my list. He would be if I needed a 10 for a piss up, and like I'm giving spoilers for next year, I suppose. Tom Liberatore would be right at the fucking top of that list.
Taking Jack Ginnivan.
Yeah, that's fair. That'd be a good one. Bailey Smith.
I think it just has to be Bailey
Just
Smith or Bailey Sniff a dog. He
woof.
can't be a sniffer dog anymore, can he? He's a sniffer cat.
To the cat.
Meow.
Cats versus dogs just got a whole lot feistier.
I think we've just got our main character for the new movie.
Cats versus dogs revenge of Bailey Smith.
I'm making that a poster. I'm writing that down. Distract
Right.
them.
Well, yeah, that's the obviously the class table, everybody. So that's our 10 of each. We only have one more award left, which is our big one. But it is yeah, as we've said, it's been a hell of a year. Obviously, many a stupid sexy moment, many a performance, many and everything. But as I believe Anthony will like to segue his way into the next little part of it, uh, the thing that has brought us all together and the thing that continues to be our most popular segment or most talked about segment is probably coming up.
Yeah, I never really want to compare coming up to stupid sexy, but you always want to be coming along. Welcome to the Stupid Sexy Person of the Year Awards,
Yeah.
presented by Jared Thomas and Anthony Alessiani. The most prestigious award you can receive on a podcast half the world doesn't watch. And by half the world, I mean 8.006 billion. And I reckon there's like 45 people that might watch it twice and me 3 times. But that's okay. You're all here to see who our stupid sexy person of the year is. Now, I won't say player because we've had people throughout that are not associated with the AFL.
Was.
Bubba Watson, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris. You had one of the ugliest contenders ever during the year. It's like golfer Cameron Smith, was it?
Yeah. I was probably this close to picking him for this too, just to really fuck with you. But I
You'd
just
like to fuck me with you, wouldn't you? Really just would like to churn me like butter, wouldn't you?
Jesus Christ.
Right, save it for off camera. It's my birthday next week. Happy birthday, Mr. Smithers.
Jesus.
Sometimes I really want you to just match my energies.
Match my energy. Yeah, well, I was the one that came up with the churn the bottom. Butters matched. Wow. I was about to say energies matched, and I went butters matched. So that's cool. Okay. Oh.
Anyway, so without further ado, Homer.
Stupid sexy AFL players.
Garrett Thomas. Been a tradition this year that you always go first for stupid sexy. So that may continue.
Lovely. I am very, very excited. Now, obviously, we went stupid sexy person, and this one that I'm picking is a person that is very, very near and dear to both of our hearts for very many different, not many different reasons, for the same reasons, but not even just near and dear to our hearts, near and dear to a full generation of people, of specific fans of a specific thing. And this one is kind of a little bit of a look forward as well. You know how at the Oscars they kind of do a Lifetime Achievement Award? It's kind of what this is. I'm looking
Okay.
forward in that the year coming up is going to be very, very big for this one individual. And it will be a very emotional year for this one individual. And it is somebody that has been very near and dear to our hearts both this year and for many, many years through my childhood through to now, continued to be. This
You're
person.
picking Nick Rewald because he joined back on Channel 7, are you?
I would love to do that, however, I'm not.
Would be surprised.
My
He got us to a grand final once or twice. Continue.
my stupid sexy person of the year in a bit of a lifetime achievement award is a bit of an interesting one as well because we can't really see him. And that right there is Mr. One John Cena. Big year for the man coming up in that it is his retirement year, his retirement tour, the Tour de Force. I believe that he will win, or they'll give him his 17th world title win to break the record and have the most, so they can have this thing for the guy they call the greatest of all time. And I believe that too, because when I was growing up and getting into WWE, the one person that I was the biggest fan of, like every fucking 7-year-old at the time, was John Cena. And he's fantastic. And of course, this year is his final year. He obviously made a few appearances here and there and everything. And this is a bit of a lifetime achievement for the fact that this man is one of the greatest of all time. One of my, especially like sporting, just an idol of mine. And he's one of those people that if you could meet one person in the world, he would be right at the top of that list. Like he would be right in that upper echelon of people I'd ever love to meet. So John Cena, you are the stupid sexy person of the year. And cheers to you as well.
Yeah. Cheers to you because I can't see you, but
But we'll do it anyway.
I like that. Next year we might see you watching wrestling for 365 days of the year.
Gonna be a lot of wrestling.
I I agree. I will be there.
Yep. We'll all be there watching this man do his thing in the final year of his career, very sadly, going out on top.
All right.
Yep.
Shows the levels you have for sexiness as well, because you're picking up like you can't see.
The bar's low.
Yep.
Anyway, who was your stupid sexy person of the year, Anthony?
You know what's funny? I'm going to give you a hint, and it's the fact that we're picking people that aren't linked directly with a football club.
Yep, I like it.
People outside of the football circles. I like it. I think it's good because it expands our horizon.
Absolutely.
And this person loves to expand his horizon. He's also expanded my horizon in many different ways. It's an unbelievable factor. But this man is also the premier of my state, Mr. Peter Malinauskas. Peter, my good friend, you are doing so much good. The one key factor that you brought back the Velo 500 in Adelaide. The one key factor is you are building an empire that is gather round. The one key factor that I just simply love watching everything you do. I've never been more political in my life than watching this man do what he does. And I don't even know half the shit he's saying. But when he starts talking sport, wears his port scarf, brother, never tear us apart. And that's why Peter Malinauskas is my 2024 stupid sexy person of the year.
Do you think we should get John Cena and Peter Malinauskas to be next to each other and get a photo?
Impossible, because you just have nothing next to Peter.
Yeah, that's fair. But wow, we've got range. My goodness me. Well
Right.
played.
We've got premiers that also link with wrestling, and yeah, give him a round of applause.
Well played. And a cheers to the Premier of South Australia. Amazing.
I'm the musicians, how they have roadies.
Hmm.
I'd love to be a
You're
roadie of Peter Malinauskas.
Peter Malinauskas roadie. You're just gonna go around to all the mines and shit that he goes to. Just all the different like wineries and that he does all those interviews out the front of.
My prime, or actually, you know what? I rephrase it. My premier position is to be standing next to Premier of South Australia on the hill at the Adelaide Oval with a beer in hand each.
If you can do that, that'd be very impressive. Let's try and organize something.
Keep your DMs open, Peter.
I think we've tried one day. I think I tried to collab with him on Instagram and I got a message being like, it's not happening.
It's basically the automated message you get.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was the automated like thanks for blah 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 whatever, and I was like, oh okay.
And I took that as at least he responded.
At least he knows, you know. He probably doesn't run his Instagram account, but at least his publicist knows, and that's what matters.
I think he's on my radar to be interviewed next year.
Absolutely. I think that's number one. I reckon that's priority numero uno.
Yep.
And we did it.
Peter Malinauskas, John Cena, Stupid Sexy, 2024. The award is painted and pictured with Travis Boak in the background, so selecting him's kind of a cop out.
Yeah, but you would have gone for him if you could.
Back to back.
Back to back champ.
Did you say back to back churn? Brother. Anyway, that's pretty much it. After all of the time we've had this year, it is actually pretty sad because
It is.
now we have to find other ways to call each other.
Because we struggle so much with that.
We do. It's terrible timing. We work so hard. All these nights that are hard to be free. Might be able to see you for like 2 months.
He's kidding everybody, just so we're all aware. I'm just gonna look straight down the barrel. He's absolutely telling fucking lies.
I see him in 4 days. But that is besides the point.
Precisely.
I do want to take a quick moment to say thank you very much to you for your fantastic work again this year. Glass Table is a pillar in our lives, and we do a very, very good job. Underrated, this podcast.
If
Chemistry
we don't say so ourselves.
is what?
If we don't say so ourselves.
Definitely not biased. Yeah, the chemistry is above and beyond, I think, anything you'd see in podcast land. So thank you to everyone for watching, viewing, being stupid sexy, the audience that you are. And obviously, as I said, my thank you to my stupid sexy co-host.
And my thank yous to you, Stupid Sexy Anthony, for the year, of course, our second year under the Glass Table banner. There'll obviously be some more fun stuff coming in the new year episodes. We'll have probably more videos. We'll probably do predictors and shit like that as well, because that's just what we do, and have a lot of fun with it and continue to have fun with it. And it would not be possible without you, and also without, of course, our viewers, our listeners, everybody of the sort, for having fun, engaging with us, all of our questions, everything like that. It's very, very fun. Continue to keep it up, and we'll be right here. Don't you worry about that.
Cheers to you guys, huh?
Cheers.
Ah. Also, thanks to ThePear for signing us on for another season.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Pat. Whoever that upper entity may be. They're very, very, very well.
Yeah, you know, you can always thank ThePear.
Got the back.
Can ThePear and the pair of these.